Hi everybody, it's Patti and Debbie from Print and Pixel Studio, and this video is kind of a part 2 to the video that we did last week about the faux vellum. And when we did that video, we were not aware, we hadn't done it for a long time, and years ago we tried it and we never really used it. We weren't journaling then. We were making party supplies, and we had seen it and we tried it, and we liked the look of it, and we thought, ooh, it would really make cute like cake toppers and stuff, you know. But then we were kind of worried about the food safety of it, so we never went past that stage. This time, when one of our viewers said that in a past video that we did that they used this process, and they wondered if it worked in those circle medallions that we were making in another video, we thought, oh, that might be kind of fun to try again. So we did. And we loved how it came out, and you guys saw it. And I'm sorry I don't have any of those original ones here. I just have the ones that we've tested. We loved how it came out, but a few viewers contacted us and said that they had problems, not with the process in our video, but in previous years using this process, where the oil would transfer onto other pages in their journal. So we wanted to test and see if we could come up with a way where we could seal those papers so that that issue wouldn't be a problem. Well, I could tell you, we had moments of euphoria and moments of dire disappointment. So we're going to show you what we've done and how this process is going along. One reason we really want to make this process, or this video, is because when we started to research this and deep dive into if there were any solutions for this problem, if anybody's talked about it, we found one video from, I think it was 7 years ago, that even mentioned that that was a problem. So I think that it's a good idea to bring this video out, and or we think it's a good idea to bring this video out, so people, if they want to try this process, are aware of the pitfalls, and maybe they could come up with a solution on their own on how they may want to proceed with it, because you do get a great looking product. And we were thinking too the other day that it would make, if you used these and made those circles that we made in the medallion video, you know, leaving the blank, or just making the circles, and then going around them with the metallic ink and stuff like we did in that video, you could make some really cute Christmas ornaments. But anyway, aside from that, it does have possibilities and places that you might be able to use it, and that the rub off from the ink or from the oil would not be a problem. But that's going to be up to you guys to decide if that works for you or not. We're just going to show you what we've done so far in the testing, and show you what don't even bother to try doing, because it doesn't work. So the biggest success we had was the baking soda. This still leaves you with a lot of transparency. I can't show you on that. Let me see this book. You still have a lot of transparency. It still has basically the same feel as the faux vellum, the original. The color still remains great. There's no distortion or anything to them. And this is the one we thought we had the major winner with. We put it in, we laid them out on a cookie sheet and covered them top and bottom with the baking soda, pardon me, and left them overnight. The next day we took them out and we put down a sheet of copy paper, laid these on them, put another sheet of copy paper on top, and put a very heavy book on top of them. For 3 days, no signs of oil. We were so happy. And on day 4, when I took the book off and we looked at them, there was some signs of oil. Now, I will tell you, not a lot. there was, compared to these other ones, it was really, even though it was 100% successful, it showed me that it did remove a lot of the oil. And we were talking about it a few minutes ago before we started this video, and we were thinking if we'd have left these in, and we are doing that now. We had some others that we put in that were in overnight, and we've decided we're going to leave them in that baking soda for a week and then take them out and see what happens, because this is the best process. And when we were talking about how to do it, like Debbie said, what do they soak up oil in driveways and stuff with? Cat litter, baking soda. When you have a fire on your stove, an oil fire, you throw baking soda on it. Mm-hmm. So there's something to say about this baking soda as far as oil goes. So anyway, we're going to try it for another week because we got such good results with this, not perfect, but really good results with this, that might be the secret to it, leaving it in there longer, so that we kind of had a feeling that maybe it soaked up the first layer and it was working to bring the oil out, and we just pulled it out too soon. But anyway, we're still working on this one to see what happens. So then the next what do I want to say? The next method that we tried was the cornstarch, and one of our viewers recommended this, and I thought, that's a good idea, right, mm-hmm, Debbie? Mm-hmm. And because it's readily available to everybody, as is the baking soda. Well, it was weird. I don't know. We left it overnight, mm-hmm, and I don't know if you can see this on this butterfly. It dulls it quite a bit. And you can see where the color has kind of run more on the back. Now, there was no moisture or anything added to this anywhere. It was just the cornstarch. And when you took it out, it had adhered itself so heavily to the paper that I had to take a little plastic knife and scrape it off and then go over it real good with paper towel to get it off. But yet this one now, it had the same process. In none of the color, nothing happened to any of the color. It came out great, it feels great, but they both still leak oil. So it did not, and majorly so. It did nothing for the oil. But I thought it was real unusual how it felt damp to the touch. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I did it in my kitchen because Debbie has a big crowd over here and she doesn't have room to test it, so I was the tester. So I would say cornstarch, no. Okay, then we were talking earlier and we thought, the last week, and we thought, hey, what if we took a real thin layer of diluted Mod Podge? No, this didn't work either. As you can see, strangely enough, and I'm sure it's because we added the water to the Mod Podge for some reason, it streaked the color, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't look bad, but, and this is the back, and you can see the distortion in the finish from it. But again, leaks oil. So the Mod Podge idea was out. And this was a real disaster. This was hairspray. Now, the funny thing is, I will tell you, the first time I tried it at home, I didn't have any of this kind of hairspray. I just had my, what's that stuff I used? Aveda? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I sprayed it on, and gee, it looked really good, And we tried it, and I had a little bit of oil leakage, but not tons. But I thought, this might be the answer. And the reason I tried it, not necessarily the Aveda, but hairspray, is because I had researched about this artist who uses oil paints, and she uses it as a technique to kind of set them up so that they don't smear in her sketchbook and stuff. But even she had some oil transfer with the hairspray. Well, anyway, I tried it, and she used inexpensive hairspray, and I thought, well, maybe there's something in that would work. Well, you can see from these pictures, this is not good. Totally discolored them. And this one is basically a mess. This one I used not so much of the hairspray, and it came out fine as far as looks go, but again, they still leak the oil, so that hairspray doesn't do it. And let me see, what was this one? Oh yeah, so then I thought, we use Yes Paste because we love it. It's really cool. And I thought, you know, that stuff is such a miracle in other applications. What if I took a little bit of that, diluted it with water, and painted it over the top of these? And it didn't, you know, discolor anything like the Mod Podge did. And it looks good. The finish still looks good, but it still leaks oil. So that didn't work either. So basically, our conclusion is there may be hope for these with the baking soda. We're still testing it. If we come up with a positive, well, either way, we'll let you know. May not be a whole video, but maybe a short or something on how it works. If it's a success, leaving it to set for a week in the baking soda, and then cleaning it off, and then test it for a week with paper and see what happens with the printer paper and a weight, and see what happens, because this was the closest to a success that we had. Mm-hmm. The others were total fails. And I was telling Debbie this morning, I said I had one, it wasn't these, I can't remember which one it was now. Anyway, that I tested, and I put a book on top of it, and then I have this heavy, you know, that Italian pot. I got I got a Italian crock that I found at Goodwill, really cool, but it's very heavy, so I put it on top, and I wish I could remember which test it was that I did it to. But anyhow, it was very weird. It was like, when I picked it up, there was nothing under the piece of paper that we were testing, but all around the edges of where the crock was, it was like the oil squished out from the paper we were testing and shot out to the sides on the paper. It was the darndest thing I've ever seen. I can't figure it out. But anyway, nonetheless, if you're going to try something, try it with baking soda. Another idea like Debbie had was, how about cat litter? And that might work. Mm-hmm. You know, they're always throwing in you know, automobile garages and stuff, mm-hmm. cat litter. Yeah. So we might try that this week. But the rest of it, don't even bother, because save yourself a heartache. It's not going to work. But the baking soda and now possibly the cat litter will work. And we'll let you know. It's probably not going to be in a whole big video, but, you know, just a little quickie to tell you if it works or not. Because, again, I think it's important for everybody to have as much information as they can if they're going to use a process, and then they can make up their minds how they want to use it, if they want to use it, and what they might want to do with it. So that's going to be our kind of shorty video for today. And the reason we're not doing a longer video is because we're in the process of filling up sandbags. Because we have a hurricane. Well, it's definitely a tropical storm, but now they're kind of upgrading it to a 1 or a 2 hurricane that's coming in here on Tuesday. But the rain is starting this afternoon. And since we're already mostly flooded over here as it is, we're kind of concerned about it. So sorry for the short video and that we're not going to be, you know, doing any project, but we did want to get you the information out about what we have found so far on sealing these papers and keeping the oil from spreading to other papers you might have in your journals and stuff. So I guess that's it for us this week, and we'll see you next weekend.